What's going on, guys? My name is Maxwell, and today I'm going to show you how I made Dark Sea by Shaya Zamora. First, starting off, a really cool thing about this song is it's in two different keys. So the verse is in A major, and the hook is in C sharp minor. And the reason that happened is because it originally was all in C sharp minor, but Shay had come to me and mentioned that he wanted the verses to feel a little more uplifting and happier, if you will. So, and funny enough, it took like a month or two to kind of get the right feeling. Even though it's literally four chords, I don't know if you can see here, but I had a couple options of kind of what we could do, and then option two is kind of what we landed on. But why don't I just go ahead and start with the beginning here? And I unfortunately can't use any of his vocals because in the center one, just that little clip I showed got the video restricted. So we are just going to be doing the instrumental stuff. I have some of my background vocals here that I will show you as well. I don't think that would be an issue as terms of restrictions. But starting off, we do have the piano here, which is Keyscape. Love Keyscape. It's my go-to. It's the wing back upright, I think, is the one that I use. But as you can see here, just kind of simple four chords. Let's see what we got here. And I should mention too, this isn't the mixed version. It was mixed by Jacob Biz Morris. He did a great job, an incredible mixer. He did Skin and Bones, Daylight by Kushner. So definitely check him out. He's a great guy, great engineer. Highly recommend him. But that's kind of what we got here. Just the pianos to start us off, and then it goes into our pre-chorus. Really, the only difference here is we're just adding this pad in the pre-chorus here. And I can't remember what I did here to like pull that direction off differently, but that's just sky keys. Then we have our transitions here. Looks like it's just a piano and then we have an impact down here, kind of helping reinforce that. But here we are with the hook. So essentially what we got going on here is just a piano, my choir vocals here, looks like some pads. This first hook really isn't a whole lot. We have the bass and stop here. And that's just a simple sine wave. You can get that anywhere. I'm using Anna 2 by Slate Digital. But just the stop here, no other drums. Our piano chords that we got going here. The one thing I love about Keyscape is it has that sustain pedal. Kind of gives it that noise, and to me I love that. It just gives it some realism. It's kind of imperfect in a way, and I really enjoy that about Keyscape. Here I got my woes. I love layering vocals here, so just a lot of layers. The main ones are just these oohs, I think is what I have them labeled as. Then I have some higher ones here. And what I like to do too is like my higher, like either chest voice or falsetto ones, I love throwing a formant shifter on them. And then this one I just used meta pitch. Just took the formant down to semitones. I usually go anywhere between like 1.5 to like 3. 2 is sometimes, most of the time the sweet spot. So I just usually go there. You can use this, anything that has formant shifting, little Ultra Boy. I think Logic has a formant shifter on their pitch shifting one as well. But down here, I just enforced it here with some ms. Those are there more so for like a support. These are really the stars of the show, and this just kind of helps thicken these up a little bit. And then here I have the choir. What I'm doing here is I'm just following the notes here in the chords triad. So I have root down here, the third and the fifth. Let's take a look. Yeah, so those are just kind of following the chords here to help fill it out. It's kind of in place of a pad. And speaking of pad, this pad is so cool. I literally have it labeled weird pad. It's like wind chimey-ish, like industrial, kind of grungy. I don't know. I thought that was really cool, especially in the context. You can kind of hear it poke in and out. Super, super cool. Stuff you don't really hear often. And then, of course, the pad that I use in literally everything. And that's essentially the first chorus. Getting over into the second verse, we're back into the A major. So we just have the same chords as we did before. On the piano, looks like we brought in a clap for the drums. Simple stuff there. And it looks like really the only kind of different things here is we added a perk down here. Not sure why it's down here. That sounds like this. That comes in, as you can see, a little later in it, just to kind of give it sense of being different, builds it more. Got a pad here that's pretty cool. And what I have that doing is following this electric guitar here that looks like I chopped up because we ended up switching the key, so I did end up using different chords. I just went through and manually chopped it. Just felt it was easier than grabbing the guitar and replaying it. But that's what this sounds like. And then with that pad. Got looks like I bring the weird pad back in for maybe this part of the pre-chorus. And then we're getting into the second part of the hook here. Nothing's really going crazy. Looks like we just added another layer for the claps, and then we have an accent clap. Again, just doing anything we can to make the second, and even third chorus feel different from the last. So that's kind of what I did there. And then I added this perk loop, I'd imagine from Splice. Love those kind of perky, kind of Foley loops. They're super cool. Piano, same chorus. This looks like I switched up the rhythm a little bit. Low velocity, just to kind of give it that soft, eerie feeling. I'll show you what that sounds like here. Same chords, different rhythm, just kind of giving it, again, a different feel from the last. Choir's still the same, airy pad made its way in. Cellos, got some strings going on here. Super cool. This is a free, it's not free, but I got it for free. Philharmonic 2, they have incredible expressive strings. Makes it sound really natural, as if somebody else was actually playing them, maybe the way a real string player would. Here we go more into the bridge section. I have brass, but for some reason it's not loading. I don't know what had happened there, but it kind of goes into this bridge kind of breakdown maybe. We're just adding more strings here. We had the cellos in the beginning, and it looks like we're adding in some violins here. Nice. And then it looks like maybe a choir. Nice. And then the final hook, guys. I mean, this is kind of the aha moment. This is kind of what we are building up to. As you can see, more layers, man. You know, I added a new clap here. We looks like we got some bigger claps down here. Another kick layer just to kind of help it feel larger and different from the last one. Those are our drums. Piano's doing the same thing, essentially, same rhythm. Added in another choir layer. This is the Jacob Collier one. This one is awesome. I think this one's free, actually. If you just search this up on Google, you should be able to find it. This is the choir I used in Sinner. That's what this sounds like. Kind of helps beef up that already existing choir more. I have this staccato string, but again, it's on the one plugin for whatever reason is not loading. And then I added in this tremolo guitar down here. Let's see. So I tried playing that a few times on an actual guitar, and for whatever reason, I just could not get it to be like remotely on time. So I just ended up using, I think it's Native Instruments Electric Sunburst, and they have like a tremolo setting in there that I ended up just using, and it worked out great. But yeah, I mean, that's essentially the song, and then it goes into just a dramatic ending, and that's kind of the most of the song. Here's his vocal layers. He had some lead vocals here, and then we separated his background vocals here. So yeah, that's kind of the gist here. It's simple in a way, a lot of layers, a lot of just kind of slow building. Funny enough, I actually didn't care much for this instrumental, the original one that we had, and I just kind of threw it out there, and Shaya ended up sending back what is now Dark Sea, and he really brought the magic to it. And then we switched up the verses, of course, and you know, it's just everything kind of came together great. I loved how it turned out. The team around it was incredible, and I'm glad people enjoyed it, you know, the way that they did. But yeah, so that's Dark Sea. If anything that I missed or you wanted me to touch more on, feel free to leave a comment. Shoot me a DM on Instagram if you'd like, and I'll help you know, further explain things if I need to. But this is Dark Sea by Shaya Zamora. Thanks for sticking around and watching, and I'll see you next time.